new edition of Blitz. I'm Brian Card here at Dawson County High School with Lady Tigers basketball coach Steve Sweat. Coach Sweat, always enjoy having you on here. One of my favorite coaches to talk to.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Now, Coach, you're up to, I believe, 480 career wins, 290 losses, closing in on that big 500. An incredible season. I mean, we could go on and on with the stats, but 29 game win streak. You go 29-1 to the Elite Eight, win a region title, #1 state ranking. Have you ever had a season quite like this?
Well, we did. I was fortunate enough and been blessed enough, I would say, is the way I put it. When we was at West Hall, over at West Hall, we had some good teams in the late '90s. And I think it was '99 maybe. We had a 30-0 run then,
wow, and
went to the state championship, and then of course we ended with 30-1, which wasn't good, but the 30 was good, like this year. And but the biggest thing for me this year is the fact that it ain't about me. These kids got to do something that they hadn't never done, that's never been done in school history here, in the history of the school. And so when you can say that, that's pretty special. So, and I'm just glad that they got to do it.
Yeah, and definitely they deserve credit, and you do as well. I know you're really humble about it. But
well, I appreciate
close
that.
to 500 wins. I mean, they can't do it on their own. So, Coach, I've heard rumors, and I don't like them, that this could have been, coming into the season, I had heard that this may be Coach Sweat's last year. But now you had been quoted as saying that as long as it's fun, you can't imagine not coaching. I can't imagine you've had more fun than you have had this year.
Well, no, I hadn't. This was extra special because of the kids, who they are. I've seen them grow up, and I've been here the whole time. And when I wasn't working here, we lived here. So, I got daughters of my ex-players that are now moms of the daughters of who are playing now, and. And a lot of them stats now, Brian, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you're going to have some numbers, So, but I appreciate what you say, and I thank you for that. And at this point in time, #1, I guess I better be careful what I say. If you remember to quote what I say, I better be careful. So, with that in mind, it is fun. It was definitely fun. There was no way it couldn't have been fun. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of all that goes into having a streak of any kind. But it was fun. And to answer the question that you're wanting answered, at this point in time, no. But now, if you ask my wife, you'll probably get a different answer.
Sure,
She's already retired. But and just waiting on me. But as long as it's fun and we're having a good time, and not necessarily. I mean, we want to win, but it don't have to be winning. I hope it is. But at this point in time, that's undecided, is what I'm gonna say. And there's a lot of things that's gonna go into that. And I've got a 1-year-old granddaughter that loves sitting with her G-Pa. And I've got we've been told that we have a grandson that's coming in June, so there's a lot of factors going to go into that decision. So we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll just have to address it.
All right.
Talk to me about Cheyenne Seabolt, Ashley Parker, 2 1,000-point scorers, and again, those come once in a blue moon in a lot. In most programs, you've been fortunate. You've coached a lot of 1,000-point scorers, but 2 that have gotten there. Both in the same year, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Ashley got there this year, but Cheyenne last year. But they're both seniors, and they kind of did it together, and to get the 500 rebounds.
Yes.
Have you ever had a dominant duo like that?
Not that many on one team. And of course Carly Bearden is right behind them, and of course if somebody's going to do it, it would be her being next in line for the 1,000. She already got the 500 rebounds, so we had 3 people on this team with 500 rebounds and more. And we had the 2, like you say, Ashley and Cheyenne has already made it, and those, I guess if you ask my buddies, they would probably say, well, you can see which one he likes the most, meaning offense. Of course, I love defense too, and I love to see them play good defense. I think defense helped us win a lot of games this year, and the kids really play hard. But to have those scorers on your team, it's just a tribute again to the kids. I mean, they've got to know what they're supposed to do, And if you're a scorer, then go score, And so It goes back a long way. I mean, everybody that knows me, I'm one of them folks that never met a shot I didn't like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I try to get that across to our players. If we get the most points, we win. I don't care how good a defense you play, but if we got the most points, we win. So we try to put it up, and we try to put it in the basket, and they've done a good job.
It's ironic because you also did have some moments where the defense came up huge, and that's been evident by the fact that you outscored opponents by 25 points a game this year. It's just unbelievable. So, I mean, it does. The offense is there, but so is the defense.
Right.
And as you mentioned, 1,000-point scorers. We can't go on without not mentioning Carly Gilreath being part of the state finals team a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, at one point you had all 4 of these. When you count Carly Bearden as a potential 1,000-point scorer, they got a chance to play together there. That's unbelievable to me. And I remember at one point you had told me about Carly Gilreath that it was almost like having another coach on the floor.
Yes.
And I can't help but see some similarities between her and Carly Bearden, other than their first name.
Even got the same name. They just spell it different. It is, and it has been, and with Carly Bearden. Of course, Carly Gilreath was a 4-year starter for us at the point guard, which is a very important position, obviously. And to put a freshman at the point guard, that takes a lot of
trust.
That's a good word. And faith, I guess.
Yeah.
But she was the kind of kid that could handle that. Now, Carly Bearden. We did the same thing with her, of course. Ashley and Cheyenne, they played some as freshmen too, and then Carly come along and she fit right in with them. So and you got to put the best people on the floor. I've always said, and of course my girls know this, I don't ask none of them what grade they're in before I put them in. And if you can play, you're going in.
Sure.
So we put her out there, and Carly Bearden has done a lot of stuff. I mean, she's already got her 500th rebound this year. She's headed towards, if she has a good senior year, she'll get in the 1,000-point club, and which I hope she does. And then in her case, she has played all 5 positions for us at one point in time. So there's not many people can say that. Usually they focus in on one position, meaning the point guard or the one, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the numbers go. Well, she's played all 5 of them for us, and the past couple of years she's done that. But that just shows how versatile she is and what all she can do and her skill level. And she's tall enough and long enough that she can play at the front of the press or she can play in the back of the press. So it doesn't matter.
She's going to be hard to stop, much like your team was this year. Now, good teams, I hear coaches all the time, we just want to be peaking at the right time.
Right.
When I look back at your season, I'm thinking, where was that peak? It seemed like it was there from the get-go.
Okay. Yeah, it was actually. This team is one that you hear people say, well, we're looking forward to this group, And this was one of them groups. I mean, we felt like we should have a good year. Of course, you never know what's going to happen. They were games that, we could have easily lost a lot of games. We were behind and came back and won. We won one game with 10.4 seconds to go. We won one game with 1.2 seconds to go. I mean, you could have lost those easily. I mean, one bounce of the ball and you lose. But they found a way to win. And that's what I love about them. They didn't want to lose, and they found a way not to lose. And it was different people. It was different people, which was impressive to me. One time it would be this one hitting a big shot, another time it'd be a different player hitting a big shot. They would be the scoring leader would be different. There were many games where we had 3, 4 people in double figures. So that helps get to that 1,000 point too. They share the ball well. And as far as peaking, of course, we knew last summer we purposely played some bigger schools and schools that we knew were good basketball schools and go to camp where those people are going to be. And, we did all that for a reason. And then we played in some Christmas tournaments where I think just maybe everybody that we played but 1 or 2 were bigger schools than us. And I guess if there was one point, and the girls, I think they would tell you the same thing. We were playing in a Christmas tournament in Pickens County. We were playing Collins Hill, which is a 6A school. They had 3 kids 6 foot or better.
Wow.
The game started off 13-0. We were behind. It wasn't looking good. And towards the end of the 3rd quarter, we took the lead, and then we never got behind after that. So if there was a turning point of all of this, I think that was it. With them being a 6A school, us coming from behind, not quitting, not stop battling, and just come on. And I'm pretty sure it was either Cheyenne or Ashley that hit a shot that put us up. Yeah. And then after that, we won the game.
Yeah, when you think of the Fab Five, that term, a lot of people think Michigan basketball.
There you go.
I think of, in terms of high school, I think of your team. This is just unbelievable to watch. The streak, 29 in a row. That is unbelievable. I know there was some pressure with that. I know there had to be.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun too, I'm sure, but. What did you tell the girls to kind of keep them from getting too focused on the number and just getting them out there and playing their game?
Right. Well, another good thing about this group and the real good teams that we've had through the years, and again, been blessed to have a lot of them. There was not much talk about it, to be honest with you. You look around this room, there's hardly nothing that says anything about that we was 29-0,
Yeah.
And part of that's the coach, because we already won them ever how many it was, at that time. We just need to worry about the next one.
Exactly.
And and they knew that. They were very focused. I tried to keep them focused, and I told them, of course, the next game is, we just want to win the next game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the record is. We just want to win the next game. And if we're going to play a game, we're going to try to win it.
Yeah.
So they were good about it, and I tried to be, I felt like keep them up on that level, and of course they got reminded sometimes, okay, you don't want to, you don't want to do this, then we'll get our tail beat, and then we'll see how you like that.
Yeah. It didn't happen very often. I mean,
no.
I mentioned it. 25 points was your average margin of victory. You had the couple.
Right.
You had some nail biters in there, a few of
we
them.
Did.
But you had, I believe, 11 games where you won by 30 or more. You had about 5 that you won by 40 or more, and then 2 that were 50 or more.
Right.
Some incredible success this year. But talk to me about, to me, one of the coolest moments I got to see. Of course, I saw you guys play against Dodge County and advance to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
So it was the 29th win. That was a big moment for sure. But I just loved being able to see you guys take that region title at Franklin County over East Hall. Talk about winning that, the 7th in school history, the first since 1992.
Right. Well, the 92 part, that was a long time coming. We had shots at winning some others and just wasn't fortunate enough to do it. But, played against some good teams. Our region's always good. And to win that region title, and everybody around here will tell you, if you win, of course, it used to be 8, now it's 7, but if you win our region, you've done pretty good. Because through the years, there's been a lot of good teams come out of our region. And, of course, with us being one of them, thank goodness, and we were able to win it. Another point in this season was the fact that when we had the 25-0, that was the longest consecutive win streak in school history, which was another record set by this team. And a key thing there, if y'all, we was talking family history earlier, that record, the grandmother of Peyton Porter was on the team who had the record. So you're talking about Dawson County history. And me and Peyton talked about it. She got to break Grandma Vicky's 24-0 record. And I think that was back in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. We looked in the history books, so to have that same family involved in that, I think it's great.
That's unbelievable.
And anyway, but the 25-0 was really good because that was an all-time school record, and then the 29-1 was an all-time school record as far as best record overall. In school history, and I didn't realize that until Coach Turner. He keeps up with all that a lot more than I do. Sure. But we just try to win the next game. But it was really good, and just to be able to stay at that level, I think that probably speaks more about this group of kids than anything. And they handled it well. Yeah,
they absolutely did. And I know I don't like talking about it because it's sore. It's too soon. But the loss at Laney, man, that hurt really bad. I know from a fan's perspective, and I know for you guys, and you handled it very well. It seemed like, but there's a lot of what ifs. I mean, you had the lead at halftime. You had to do the coin flip and play on their turf instead of here. How tough was that pill to swallow?
It's tough. When you come that far, and I guess when you've been able to do that and be there, it's a whole lot different than watching somebody do it or talking about it, but you know, when you're in the moment, it is hard. The coin flip, I'll go back to that start there. That was, you know, I don't think we ought to have to do that. And you know,
should be
Georgia high school. Well, you got 2-1s playing each other, and 2 of the best teams in the state. You know, it shouldn't be a home court advantage, I don't think. But you know, that's a Georgia high school thing. They didn't ask me. If they did, we would switch it. And so, you know, I think teams that advance that far shouldn't have to go to somebody's home court and play. But we did. And we went over there, great basketball atmosphere. I'm telling you now, if you want to go see a good game, you know, see some good basketball, go to Laney High School in Augusta. Because come to Dawson County. I mean, you had 2 basketball schools going against each other. Great fan support. The gym was full, and you know, and it was a single girls game, which you know, I think that speaks well for both teams. You know, used to you couldn't get half a gym to come to a girls game, you know. Of course, we've been fortunate that our fan base is tremendous. I mean, they love basketball in Dawsonville. So
they travel too.
And that's one reason I love being here. Always have. But going to Laney was hard, and we knew it was going to be hard. Playing them on their court was going to be hard. But you know, we still got to go play the game. And the girls, we had some great practices before that. They knew what was coming. They knew what it was about. We had a chance to go to the Final Four, and you know, of course, people saying everything, and you hear everybody talk, and you know, and a lot of times, you know me, I don't get into all that, but when I've been there and I saw what happened, and some people had said, you know, this probably should have been the state championship game. I think they're probably right. And I normally don't say that, but this year I believe I do, because I've seen the other teams and I know who's got what and how they do and all that kind of stuff. Because you know, Decatur was a real good team, we felt like, and you know, Laney turned around the next Friday or Saturday and beat them by almost 30. So our game was, as I told somebody, it was a great game to be involved in. It was a great game to watch. The only problem with our game was we didn't win. I mean, other than that, I can't really say much. I mean, it was a great high school girls basketball game, maybe one of the best ever. You know, when it's all said and done. So it was fun to go there. I love playing in what I call basketball schools, which theirs is and ours is, and so like I said before. And to go there and be involved in all of that, and it turned out to be a good game. We had chances to win the game, you know. I don't know how many times the lead changed hands, but I know it was a bunch. One of the best things I would say about them, our girls and them, neither team lost focus, I guess you would say. And I'll tell you why I say that, because when they would take the lead, we took it back. But when we took the lead, they were good enough to take it back too. And through this year, a lot of times, such as the Collins Hill game that I mentioned to you before, when we took the lead, the game was pretty much over because they had led the whole time. The best thing I can probably say about Laney's team is when we took the lead back in the 4th quarter, it didn't seem to bother them none. They were good enough. They were good enough to turn around and take the lead back, and then it changed hands some again, and then they played well enough to win, and they beat us.
Now, what would you say to the naysayers out there? Because I've heard a couple people, and they're not as well versed, I guess, in knowing what your team's all about. They just see numbers, and they see Ashley Parker and Cheyenne Seabolt, graduating, and they think, oh well, Dawson County's in trouble next year. What would you say to them that lets you know that the team that you got coming back next year is just as capable of putting up a similar season?
Sure. Oh yeah. Well, we were able to play a lot of kids this year, so we got kids that got a lot of varsity experience, and I would say to them, of course, a lot of them's probably going to see this, and of course, my first thought was, I hope they think that way, because they're going to think it's going to be easy to come in here. And I don't see that happening. But of course, I got to believe that, because and I'm the leader, and I'm the one that's supposed to get them thinking that way. And I think if we're going to play, we might as well win. So as I said before, and we're going to try to do that. We're going to try to beat everybody we play. yeah, we are losing some good players, but we got some good players coming back too. And you know, we're going to put 5 out there, and we're going to expect those 5 to beat whoever we play.
Right.
And it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, I could name names, but I think, you know, but it's a little early for that. But we're going to put some of the kids that helped us win this year back out on the court. And now we may have to play a little different style, and I think everybody knows that. We're going to be more guard oriented next year. And which means probably you're going to see some more up in your face defense. Yeah, we press this year, but we're probably going to extend it some because we got some quicker people, and you know, I think they're going to be surprised. I think some people will.
You got a huge junior class, that, you know, so they'll be
exactly.
Next year.
I didn't think about that, but yes, we do. They've had a lot of experience. A lot of those kids. Half of this team has been to the state tournament all 3 years actually. And
so I guess the problem is getting some sophomores and freshmen involved next year,
right?
So that they can.
We've got some good freshmen. We took our freshmen this year, and we played them a JV schedule. We didn't have any freshman games. Our whole JV was nothing but 9th graders. Cool. So we chose. Well, me. Yeah. I chose to not play any 9th grade games and make them play up. So all our 9th graders got a JV season under their belt. We skipped the 9th grade games to go play JV, which I think is going to help us. You know, of course, they played against older kids all year long, and you know, it's got to help.
Oh yeah.
And then we practice everybody together. I've always done that, and that's just one thing that we do. So my 9th graders played against the Elite 8 team every day.
The best team in the state.
You know, so the #1 team in the state, they got to practice against them every day. So, and I think that's going to help too.
Make an impact. Right. Last question for you, Coach.
Okay.
Just, you know, if you look back at your 30+ years coaching, do you have one moment, one memory that really stands out as probably your top moment, and then maybe one from this season as well?
This one was pretty special. The 30-0 at West Hall was special. I guess. Oh gosh. If I had to go back, and a lot of times when you do something for the first time, this year probably if I was pinpointing things, it's the records that are school history. Not just Lady Tiger history. You know what I'm saying? Not just but I mean all-time school history.
Right.
And I think I heard Coach Turner say we've had basketball here for 86 years, and you got the record out of all 86 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's special.
Breaking grandma's record, you know, that kind of thing. Those are pretty special, but I think for me, if I had to say, it would have probably been in my early years. Actually, it was here, and we were able to go to the Final Four. We had made it to the state tournament, but then we made it to the Final Four, and for the first time, and I think first time in school history at that time, and it was the first coaching. First time me as a coach had made it. It was the first time our team had made it, and I think that first one, that one's. I still got a picture at my house of when that happened. And I don't keep many pictures, but I've got a picture of that in my house. So that one was pretty special. The first time going to the Final Four, and I knew a lot of my buddies at Coach had not done that, and and I wanted to do that because you got to set goals high. So. And we were able to do that, and that first one. Now, all of them since then have been sweet. Now, don't misunderstand. To make it that far is a great thing. But that first one, that was good. I'm pretty sure Coach Porter, one of our assistant coaches, was and of course her daughter plays now, and but she could tell you. I think she was involved in that, and that one was. If I had to say that'd probably be it.
Well, Coach Watt, I really appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you so
buddy.
much, as always. I really hope you get another Final Four next year, state championship.
Thank you.
I'm hoping you're back. I'm hoping you're back. It's going to break my heart if you're not. But.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Now, when we come back, we're going to have the Fab Five on here. We're going to have Cheyenne Siebel, Ashley Parker, Haley Burgess, Jordan Moore, Carly Bearden, all here on Blitz. Thanks, Coach.